She began singing when she was just 9 years old. Selena's musical palette was Tejano, a blend of country and polka and Latin rhythms that she polished into a pop sheen. When Selena began performing, there were limits to what Tejano singers could accomplish. They could not, for instance, dream of playing this venue, the Astrodome. But in the early 90s, the livestock show began scheduling Tejano matinees in hopes that there might be some kind of audience out there. There was. They came in large part to see Selena. She had a strong soprano voice, and she somehow managed to come across as sexy and squeaky clean at the same time. Selena never stopped marveling at her rise to success.
We had our first gig. We started out here in Houston, and it's good to be back here in such a huge place after so many years and really fill it up.
When you're gone, how do you want to be remembered?
As not only as an entertainer, but as a person who cared a lot, and I gave the best that I could. And I tried to be the best role model that I possibly could, and the best person that I could. I tried to help out.
Well, I hope we can do this again one of these days soon. And
What is your location? Days in Motel. It's 901 Navigation Boulevard. What's wrong, man? We have a woman ran in the lobby, said she's been shot. She's laying on the floor in his blood. Okay. Where are you? How old is she? She looks about 20. Okay, who's shot her? Where? She's in the lobby right now? Yes, ma'am. She just passed out. Okay. I already have to call in. I think you need to send a police unit, too. It'll go off for me. Okay. Somebody gives information so we just get the suspect. Okay. You don't know anything else about who might have done it or anything like that? It's another lady. That's all I know. We're trying to find out. And that, okay. And this lady's about 40 years old? 20. 20. Okay. Yolanda? She's a suspect? Oh, okay, ma'am. Thank you. Yolanda? Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, y'all, what's going on, man? Right here, look, I wanted to come in and just explain myself real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's like a lot of hardcore Selena fans out there and shit. And y'all already know how we do it on this channel, man. It's Sacrifice Sunday. So look, I'm coming with it all. You know what I'm saying? I never saw this clip before. And I have seen plenty of mouths that look like hers, and it's pretty questionable. Now, there's other clips where these teeth don't look so sharp and they don't look so, just reptilish. I don't know. This is just not a normal mouth. Like, our teeth are not pointy like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have multiple teeth that point up and that are sharp like that. Like, those look like crocodile teeth. They look like reptile teeth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like some sort of damn reptile species. Like, I had to point that out. You know what I'm saying? Like, in these videos, we take it as far as we can. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not doing this video to be like a fan and please her fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to dig and get down to who these people really are. And this is not normal. You don't see a regular person's mouth that looks like this. You see what I'm saying? So when I saw this, I was just like, honestly, bro, we don't know who she is. She could have been chosen. She could have been born into the occult. And this was her path. You see what I'm saying? And we'll go deeper into that in a moment in the next clips that we go through. Some people even think Selena was a boy. And I went through, I'm not fully sold on it, but I went through a bunch of her old pictures and compared a few of them, and it's questionable. You know what I'm saying? And in some pictures, she does look pretty manly, and I think I got one or two of them where she does look pretty manly. So we have to consider everything with these people. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, not doing this video to, please any of her fans. We're just trying to get down to the bottom of what could have possibly happened and what Selena was actually involved in. You know what I'm saying? Because she definitely knew what she was involved in. But anyways, before I keep on ranting, y'all already know what's going on. Let's get to the next clips.
That's actor John Seda talking about the love affair between Selena and her husband, Chris Perez.
Perez didn't initially embrace the making of the film, but
husband, Chris Perez.
All right, y'all, I'm back to talk instead of pitting it through text. So, some of y'all may have heard of Saturn worship before. If you have, this might just be a little quick reminder, of what we're dealing with here. Saturn worship has been around for thousands and thousands of years, if I'm not mistaken. I think even the kingdom of Atlantis worshipped Saturn. Saturn, the planet, is represented by a lot of things. The most common may be the black cube. Goes by many different names as far as what you may have heard, depending on what you study, what you like to look up and just videos you've seen in the past. The Great Father Time, Chronos, a demiurge. It represents a demiurge, a Gnostic demiurge, but has many different names across, I guess, different religions. But people have been unknowingly worshiping Saturn for years, thousands of years. When we exchange rings at weddings, that's basically from Saturn. Those are practices from the occult. Even placing halos on people's head is a practice from the occult. So basically, we've been worshiping Saturn for years without even knowing it. And as you see, there's plenty symbolism across the board of corporations that show you who they worship, who their allegiance is to. All of this shit, even just the Internet Explorer sign, AAA, like it's everywhere. On Capital One, you would look at that Capital One sign and you wouldn't even really think anything of it. You would think that's like a damn, one of those little shits that you throw and it come right back to you like a boomerang or some shit. It looks like, who knows? You wouldn't think that that's actually symbolism for Saturn worship. You wouldn't really think that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know before I knew about any of this stuff, I definitely didn't think that. You just look at it and be like, okay. You know what I'm saying? But my point of adding this into the video is just so we can understand what we're dealing with. And we can understand the fact that the elite, they still actually worship these gods. And this is who they sacrifice to. And like I said, this all basically represents Satan. I said that in the last video. Everything goes, we relate everything back to Satan, and God. And that's just what it is at the end of the day, man. We have to understand what we're dealing with and who is the real, master of confusion behind this all, man. Because honestly, like, this shit it's right in our face, like we could probably do, just an entire separate video about this alone. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't imagine how many people look at this stuff every single day and just look at it as, this is what it is. Like, it doesn't mean anything. It's like, all right, okay, cool. To you, it doesn't mean anything. But to them, it means everything. Like it doesn't really matter that you don't believe in it or you don't care about it. They believe in it. They care about it. They incorporate it. They use it as a tool to deceive you, to have you think you're looking at one thing, but guess what? What you think you're looking at completely means, something else, way to the left. You know what I'm saying? So you're never really looking at what you think you're looking at. That's like one of the main things, about life today and dealing with, the battle that we're dealing with, especially, as the spirit world and the physical world continues to basically, combine. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what we're looking at. We never know what we are looking at. That goes with like how we just talked about in the They Walk Amongst Us video. You never know. You see what I'm saying? You never know. So before I I start getting too far off topic because this video is about Selena. This is about the Selena sacrifice, and the fact that I just fully don't believe pretty much anything around the story of how she died. As I always say, we never know. We were not there. We were not there. That phone call could have been just, you don't even know that was Selena that was on the ground. It could have just been a completely staged situation. We never know. It is so easy to stage and use people, crisis actors, all kind of shit to do something like that. It's so easy. You know what I'm saying? But let's move on to some more clips and wrap the video up.
It was all a tragic accident, a story she still stands by today. What happened that morning when Selena arrived? Did she say she wanted to fire you?
Never. She never told me that. I was telling her to leave. And I said, it's over, Selena. It's over. I can't work for you no more. I can't work for you no more. She went down, she grabbed my feet and told me not to leave her. And I picked her up and I told her, just leave. And I grabbed the gun, put it in my head. I pulled the thing back. And I said, if you don't leave, I'm going to do it, Selena. And she got up and she says, Mom, we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this. I'm going to close the door. And when she was walking to the door, she was going at an angle. And I told her, don't close the door. And in that instant, the gun went off.
But why didn't it hit you?
Because I was pointing to the door, and it just went.
Did you know she was hit?
No, I did not know.
There was blood along the door seal.
I didn't even look at the door.
But there was blood all over the room. How could you not see it?
The pictures that I see, they're dots.
Saldivar left the blood-spattered room and headed to her car with the gun still in her hand. She said she was looking for Selena. The next 9 hours became a standoff with police. Saldivar sat in her car, gun to her head, negotiating into the night before finally giving herself up.
Hey, what's going on with y'all, man? It's Black Balloon and I'm back. That was the Selena sacrifice video. And real quick, obviously it wasn't, my usual sacrifice video. I couldn't find really much with Selena as far as like how we usually get artists that expose the industry. They're really outspoken. They speak about a bunch of different things, rather they like directly expose it or not. You know what I'm saying? We get something where we could kind of like, decode what they were actually saying. Obviously, I didn't have that with Selena. So I knew going into the video, this video would be more about the occult behind her sacrifice rather than, Selena, exposing the industry, because obviously that didn't exist. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could have easily got caught up in like all the other stuff I've seen on YouTube and, around Selena's death about just, who was like really behind it, rather the dad was involved, the things with her fam was, as far as making a bunch of money off of her right after she died, them actually producing a movie, I think a year after she died. Obviously Yolanda, and just going down that entire story of what truly was the motive. I didn't want to get caught up in that. Y'all know me, how I like to do it. We just focus on what, we focus on the occult basically behind the sacrifice. You see what I'm saying? So we can actually know what is going on, because we go back and forth trying to figure out, what person, really had the most to do with her death, then we get lost in this shit. You know what I'm saying? When really this could have been just like most sacrifices that we come across, or more, most videos that we do where I end the video not really saying that this person is actually dead. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of these artists do actually get sacrificed because a sacrifice is real. They definitely do completely sacrifice an artist, but sometimes we're left wondering whether this person is even dead or not, and I only bring that up about Selena because it's just so much questionable shit. It's just so much questionable shit. But that proves my point of saying you can't get lost in all of the shit that's questionable. You know, if we can find like the patterns from the occult, then boom, we know that the occult was behind it. And it's like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to know anything further. You know what I'm saying? We know they gave us some bullshit and we can't believe the narrative that they gave us. So, you know, that's how I like to keep the focus on these videos, you know, especially the ones where I don't have much as far as the artists exposing the industry themselves, you know, because even the picture we're looking at is questionable. The blood splatter is questionable, you know, in that clip where she was talking, where Yolanda was talking, and they showed the blood that looked like, it looked like it was like on concrete. I can't really tell where they showed it from because it wasn't like this picture where it was clear in the room, but they just like zoomed in on it. It looked like someone like threw blood on the wall. You know, she got shot in the back of her basically upper right shoulder, they said. So this is weird blood splatter right here. You know, this looks like something rubbed against the door and blood spilt from it. But this doesn't look like anything from a person's body. Like, this doesn't look like her hand would have rubbed against the door or her shoulder, because it may have left more blood than it did. And then the blood is dripping. You know, it has a drip. It's not like a stain or a rub of blood. You see what I'm saying? Like, the other one looks more put on the wall than this one does, you know? Like, this one looks like it could have possibly something rubbed against it and it was just enough to make it drip, but it doesn't seem like this would have come from a person, you know what I'm saying? The other one actually looks more like this was actually thrown on the wall, because it has splatter, like it has little splatter edges, and that just doesn't really make sense to me, you know? So that's why I say it's pretty questionable what actually happened in the hotel room. Nobody was there but Yolanda, and supposedly Selena. And it could have been another person. We don't even know that. Nobody was there. You weren't there. I wasn't there. Nobody. Nobody even knew that they were in the room until Selena supposedly ran out 130 yards to the hotel lobby. Nobody even knew they were there, supposedly. Nobody in this dingy-ass motel. Why is she even there? There's no way that she was there alone. And this was supposedly the third time meeting with Yolanda. They met March 14th. Everything was kind of cool. Then they met again, I think March 27th. That's when she got the papers from her, but realized they weren't the right papers. This is the story that they gave us. Then they met again, March 30th or March 31st. I don't remember if it was the day right before she died or the day that she died when they met up again. That's the third time, number 3. And now, you know, she's dead, supposedly. So now they just gave us like an entire storyline leading up to her dying, you know, over some, you know, statements, bank statements or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And obviously the story that Yolanda gave was completely bullshit. Obviously, we could tell a liar when they're lying, you know, but it doesn't mean that she's actually, you know, she's actually the one that even did it. Or even if she does it, it doesn't dismiss the fact that she might have been under MK Ultra, if that's even what happened. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's like there's so many questions around it that I didn't want to go so deep into it, because we won't get anywhere. We'll just ask question after question after question and not get anywhere after asking all those questions. You know what I'm saying? When we can just sum this all up to the fact that Selena was a part of the occult, and this was a sacrifice. This was Saturn worship. This was a sacrifice. There's nothing else I could really say. You know what I'm saying? The sign is there. The signs are there. And, you know, it is what it is. That was the, you know, the direction I wanted to go in as far as doing this entire video, just to make people see, you know, what these artists are involved in, man. It's not, you know, it's definitely not what we think You know what I'm saying? I definitely think she was groomed for what she went through and what she achieved in the music industry. And that's just what it is. And who took off after her? I think it was J-Lo, right? J-Lo got huge right after that. All of a sudden started looking like Selena, you know? Tried to like take her role. And really, that's what these sacrifices are for. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, if they truly sacrificed her and killed her, you know, and sacrificed her to Satan, basically, if they really did, then that's what these people think they get off of the person they sacrifice. They think they're gonna get their talent. You know what I'm saying? They sort of kill off the one that has the true talent and then bring up one that's like the artificial one. You know, you get J-Lo. You know, you can that makes me think of Lady Gaga. And, you know, her supposedly best friend did she like commit suicide or something? I can't remember. Y'all let me know in the comments. I can't remember how her best friend died, but her best friend name was Stephanie. And I think Lady Gaga name is Stephanie or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But it was the same thing. Her friend was the one that she took the style from and, you know, turned it into Lady Gaga. She was the true talented one, and Lady Gaga sacrificed her, and now she's, you know, who she is. So, yeah, man, and there's plenty of other examples, you know what I'm saying, but I don't have to go there in this video. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Sacrifice Sunday, y'all already know what's going on. Like I said, I hope y'all enjoyed that video. Hope y'all safe out there. Hope y'all had a good weekend. It's Black Balloon, and I'm gonna see y'all soon. I'm out.